बाहर गया था। हाँ चलो let's start with quadratic equation. Start with quadratic. हाँ स्टार्ट कर दिया. Let's start with quadratic equation. अब in quadratic equation the general form is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to what? 0, right? Standard form of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a should not be equal to 0. First thing, a should not be equal to 0. And further, a, b and c are real. Right? A, b, c are real numbers, real values we can say. Now what happens when you solve this quadratic equation, right? Since the highest power of variable is 2, so when you solve this quadratic equation, it can give you at most two values of x. It can give you at most two values of x. Right? It can give you at most two values of x. Now, at most two values means there is a possibility that it can not give you any value, real value of x, or it can give you two real values of x, or it can give you one value of x. Now let's take the case. Suppose I have an equation, we have x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. When you solve this quadratic equation, it will give you two values of x. One is 2 or 3. Right? If I take another equation, which is x square minus 4x plus 4, if I solve this, how to solve this? We will have a formula also. So when you solve this, it will give you x minus 2, the whole square is equal to 0, which will give you x minus 2 is equal to 0, it will give you x is equal to 2. So here we have only one value of x. Let's say I have another equation plus 1x minus 4 plus 4. If I solve this equation will have no real values of x. Now the question is how we will come to know about what type of values of x you are going to get. Now these values of x are also called roots. These are all roots, right? Here we have no real roots, right, in this case. Now, so how we will come to know by looking at the equation, that I'll tell you. But first understand, we got two roots, one root and no real roots, right? So when a quadratic equation gives you two real roots, the graph of that polynomial will be a parabola, and it will be either upward parabola or it will be a downward parabola. Right? But since this graph is cutting x-axis at 2 points, that means there are two values of x. When it will give you upward parabola when a is greater than 0. That means in this case when a is greater than 0, it will give you an upward parabola. And when it will give you downward parabola when a is less than 0, coefficient of x. So in these two cases, you will have two values of x. Then there could be another graph, or something like this, or something like this, not necessarily touch origin only, something like this. In this case, you'll have x only one value. That means there are two values, but both values are same. Here also x is equal to one value. And when we say no value of x, in that case, go something like this. It will no longer touch y-axis or x-axis, right? So when we have such cases, we'll have no real values of x in this case. And when we say no real values of x, that means roots are irrational. Roots are imaginary or complex. Must have done in complex number. I hope you understood this particular part, right? Now this is something which we have done in smaller classes also. हाँ हाँ कॉम्प्लेक्स होते हैं. कॉम्प्लेक्स में एक पार्ट रियल होता है, एक पार्ट कॉम्प्लेक्स होता है. ऐसे कॉम्प्लेक्स वाले जो रूट्स होते हैं वो ऐसे रहते हैं, ए प्लस आयोटा बी, मतलब ए एन आयोटा बी और आयोटा ए एन बी डिपेंड करता है. अगर रियल पार्ट होता है, कॉम्प्लेक्स पार्ट होता है, मतलब दो रूट्स आते हैं उसमें कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर लगा रहता है. मतलब ब्रॉडली में रियल नंबर होगा या कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर होगा. फिर रियल नंबर में बहुत सारे पार्ट आते हैं, रैशनल, इरैशनल, हाँ उसके बाद बहुत सारे आते हैं. हाँ, and this. Okay. Now this quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. When you solve this, the values of x which you find, let's say values of x are alpha and beta. So here alpha and beta are called of equation. Roots are also called zeros or solution of quadratic equation. Solution of quadratic equation. First thing, sum of roots. So alpha plus beta is equal to negative of b by a. That means coefficient of x में negative का sign लगाना है upon coefficient of x square. Second is product of roots. This is alpha beta is equal to c by a, constant upon coefficient of x square. Apart from that, you should also know what is alpha square plus beta square equal to. So alpha plus beta square is alpha plus beta square is equal to alpha plus beta the whole square minus 2 alpha beta, right? Fourth is alpha cube plus beta cube is equal to alpha plus beta into alpha plus beta the whole square minus 3 alpha beta. Since whatever identity you want to make, try to make it in alpha plus beta and alpha beta form only, because finding alpha plus beta and alpha beta is very easy. Right? Right? This part is clear? Right? Now, how to find roots? The question is how to find roots. To find roots of this quadratic equation, right? Quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. We can either factorize it. Now, factorization is something which you have learned in 10th standard, or directly use formula. Formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. This is the formula which we have to use. Right? For example, if you have any equation, let's say that same x square plus 7x plus 12. Suppose we want to find out the roots of this quadratic equation. The first coefficient of x square is 1, so write a is equal to 1, b is equal to 7, c is equal to 12. So to find out the value of x, is minus 7 plus minus under root of b square, which is 7 square, minus 4 into 1 into 12 divided by 2 into 1. X is equal to minus 7 plus minus 49 minus 48 is under root of 1 by 2. X is equal to minus 7 plus 1 by 2. Another value of x is minus 7 minus 1 by 2. So x is equal to minus 6 by 2, which is minus 3, and x is equal to minus 8 by 2, which is minus 4. So you get two values of x. One is minus 3, another is minus 4. Same way, when you solve these two values, you will get alpha and beta. Right? So roots are clear. Now, if are reciprocal, if roots are reciprocal to each other, then a and c will be equal. Understand, when roots are reciprocal, that means one root is alpha, another root is 1 by alpha. राइट तुम उसका प्रोडक्ट लोगे तो प्रोडक्ट में ये कैंसिल हो जाएगा, राइट हैंड साइड पे c by a, तो 1 is equal to c by a is equal to what? C. And if roots are equal but of opposite sign, roots are equal but they are of opposite sign. If roots are yes, yes. And if roots are equal but of opposite sign, in that case b will be equal to 0. B will not exist. That means the equation will be ax square plus c. So equation will be ax square equal to minus c, x square is equal to minus c by a, and x is equal to अंडर रूट में जो c by a जो भी है. Right? Now, if suppose roots are given, then how to form a quadratic equation, that also you should know. Let's say if roots are given, if alpha and beta are given to you, that is alpha and beta are given, then use this formula x square minus sum of the roots 2x plus product of the root. Right? Use this formula to find the roots of the quadratic equation. No, sorry, to find the quadratic equation if roots are given. Right? Next is nature of roots. means when we solve a quadratic equation, you get different types of roots. So we will come to know about nature of roots. For example, if I take this equation x square plus 7x plus 12, which I just solved, we got the value of x is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to minus 4 for this quadratic equation. The other one which we solved, x square minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. When we solve this quadratic equation, you got only one value of x, right? 2. Got two values, but both values are same. Let's say we have this quadratic equation, and when we find the roots of this quadratic equations, it will be minus 4 plus minus under root of 16 minus 4 upon 2 into 1, which will give you the value of x is equal to 16 minus 4 is 12, 12 is 2 root 3. So minus 4 plus minus 2 root 3 upon 2, and two values of x will be, so you take 2 common, so this will be what? Minus 2 plus root 3, and another value of x is minus 2 minus root 3, right? So here we get two values of x, one is this, one is this. So in first case, your roots are 3 and 4 are what type of number? They are real and rational, right? Real, unequal and rational. Second case में roots are equal, real and equal. Third case में unequal, real, unequal but irrational. So how we will come to know what kind of roots are we going to get, right? How we will come to know what kind of roots are we going to get. We have, let's say, x square, sorry, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So first you find out discriminant. Now discriminant is nothing but b square minus 4ac. Now first case, if b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, right? If b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then one thing is for sure, that your roots are real and unequal. Second case is, if the value of b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, in this case, the roots are real and equal, right? In this case also, if b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, at the same time perfect square also, right? Here, if b square minus 4ac is greater than 0 and perfect square, and b, a and c are rational, then roots are real and rational. Not equal, greater than 0. बी ए सी को रैशनल होना पड़ेगा, रैशनल नहीं होना, रूट वूट कहीं नहीं लगना चाहिए. ये वाला केस, राइट, इसकी ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, डोंट रिक्वायर दिस, आई एम जस्ट राइटिंग इट. If it is not a perfect square, then it has to be rational. Then it has to be rational. And this is, let's say, third case. And the fourth case is, if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, are flex or imaginary. I'm not going to ask question on this. Put this down, right? If one root of equation is in the form a plus root b, then another root should be of the form a minus root b, also called conjugate. So only sign with root will change, right? फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर एक रूट है -2 माइनस रूट थ्री, तो सेकेंड रूट तुम डायरेक्टली बोल सकते हो -2 प्लस रूट थ्री. ओनली द साइन विथ रूट विल चेंज. दीज आर कॉल्ड कॉन्जुगेट. कॉन्जुगेट का मतलब क्या है? इसको मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो रिजल्ट रैशनल नंबर निकलेगा. इसी नंबर को उसके कॉन्जुगेट से मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं तो रिजल्ट आता है रैशनल नंबर. रैशनल साइन हट जाता है. ठीक है. Now this is the entire thing in quadratic equation. Your entire question will be based on this only. I mean, you have to use one or combination of more than one property. Sometimes you have to use log along with quadratic, like we solved one question today. Sometimes you also have to use sequence and series or quadratic equations. So combination, right? Combination में questions आते हैं, एक single topic में आता. लेकिन you need to know only this much and using the formula to find the roots of the equation. That's it. Right? पूरा का पूरा chapter इस पे based है, इस identities पे. Right? Then conjugate part is clear. ठीक है. Now we have whatever questions we have, the question will be mainly based on this only, right? That alpha, beta, or roots are equal, rational, real. The book which I have given you, you should go to that book. Remember that PDF which I have sent you. Questions from there. Then we will move on to the difficult question. First we'll solve those questions. Right? Okay. Try some questions. Chalo, let's try some question. Right? We'll take it. So let's take some questions from here. Pretty easy. Let's not solve this. And these are easy. We take up some other question. Okay. The class 10th maths. Wait. Okay. Let's take up some questions. Hmm. It's nonsense. फालतू का वर्कशीट दे रहा है एक नंबर फालतू वर्कशीट वो भी कर लेंगे इजी पहले बेसिक से क्वेश्चन निकाल के सॉल्व करते हैं पता नहीं क्यों टाइम दे रहा है No, that's not giving good. All easy question. Take out that book which I had given you. फालतू